Closing in. Relocating the trailer. Gas is moving.
Good kill.
Welcome to episode 8, guys. Utilising the AK47 from Cold War this time, an absolute nasty gun that hits hard. First up is the GRU Supressor, which gives sound suppression, vertical recoil control, velocity, and increases the effective damage range, as well as the Spetsnaz Grip, which gives both horizontal and vertical recoil control. And after that, there is the 45 round speed mag for a few more bullets, and the Microflex LED Sight for the cleanest experience. And to top it all off is the 20-inch Liberator Barrel for the best bullet velocity we can manage. There goes the final build, and this time we're running the High Alert perk, which is an absolute lifesaver in solos. Let's kick it off. Game 1 started off a bit explosive, shooting cars and chasing campers. In the end, I picked the wrong fight on the train, we both died, and it turns out in the end, he had the quicker finger in the west. Game 2 was a much more peaceful drop on the port, followed by killing a guy who got an early loadout, making my way to farmland and grabbing mine, and getting overly confident trying to destroy Bertha. I thought I could throw the second Semtex a lot faster than I could. I ended up getting crushed between his car and mine. Gulag was an absolute breezer. I got back, reclaimed my gear, and I went to chase what I thought was an easy kill through farmland. What I wasn't expecting though was him to go prone, and then I very stupidly ego challenged him, as the kids say.
Hello, darkness, my old
But anyway, let's get it. Landing on the apartments next to military base, Game 3 started off with a pump of a shotgun and the spray of an SMG. 2 easy kills came my way, and I was left to loot this complex all by myself. I even got a little bit jiggy with it. Once I grab my loadout with High Alert and chuck some stop and power rounds in for extra measure, I head back to grab a vehicle and look to do some recons. Now, this is a fantastic showcase of why I love High Alert in solos, because you may think you're alone when in reality there's actually some cheeky guy hiding in a bush looking at you. Peeking the angle slowly, trying not to overexpose myself, I check to see if someone is deciding to push me, and when it's clear, I decide to grab my trophy car and drive over to military base and do some recons and get an idea of where the endgame is going to play out. While there isn't a lot of action going on right now, I'm more focused on getting into the right position than dying to some random guy in a random gunfight. The end zone looks to be positioned over the river town north of the airfield, so I look to move over there. After popping a UAV, I notice a guy close by, and I go to seek him out. With him focused on the car, I take advantage of him and I shoot him in the side of the head and pick up another kill. Now, let's go ahead and take those buildings. UAV pings one guy, so I mark him and I make a note for later. I don't expect him to move from that house either because the attic is nice and cozy, so as long as I watch my back while I'm moving about, I should be pretty fine. Popping onto the roof, I send a few bullets to a guy hanging out in the garage. Looking to chase, I check the house where the guy is hiding on my left, and I push forward. Now I see his dot actually pop up again on the radar, so I know he's certainly there, and he's not going to move, so I'm going to avoid that house for now. Alright, let's jot down what we know right now. This house is taken, we know that for sure. There's another player to the north of me in the garage, and there's been gunshots on the east-hand side of the circle. The west I have absolutely no idea about, so I need to be cautious, and the airstrip side is going to be action-packed, but I don't need to really worry about that for now. The amount of loadouts that fall out of the sky is quite worrying, so now I know there's 5 or more in the vicinity right now. So being caught out is going to be extremely deadly. While I'm staring up the long road ahead, some poor Sunday driver comes through and into my sights. The car goes up in flames, he goes down in bullets, and I go back to check the northern side to make sure I'm not getting pushed by the guy in the garage. Now, I see the Bertha coming up for the side, and if you want my biggest advice on how to take him out, shoot them. It's stupidly simple, but believe me, putting bullets into those things actually makes a huge difference. Now, I assume this guy is going for the loadout, so I run over this guy's corpse, grab the precision, and put down a mine, as well as grab the C4 that I just dropped, and I head back in towards the building. Instead, that is not the case, and he actually does decide to go towards the circle. Seeing that there, I decide to hug the doorway to the right-hand building, and I chuck a C4. You notice that they actually takes him down. He does jump out, but his armor is cracked. I listen to the footsteps and I hear him running around his side. Eventually, I put him down and I finish him off. And then once again, High Alert goes off, warns me of a sniper, so I move back inside the building, armor up, and I spot the scope glint from the guy who's been sitting in that building from earlier. Now I actually take the initiative to put some bullets down his way, and I even hold down the trigger a little bit longer in case he re-peeks. I go ahead, I armor up, and I don't honestly expect to kill him or down him at this range. If anything, I just want to burn through his armor so he's less of a threat later on. Now the gas is starting to push in as well, so I look to gatekeep and make sure that my back is clear, and also to catch anyone who might be out of position. I catch this guy here who used an airstrike, and I see his little red dot on the minimap. Of course, I take him down, I wait to see where the airstrike goes, and now the toughest decision is here. Which way do we go? I want to avoid the riverside at all costs because there is absolutely no cover and it's complete suicide. I'm also checking my back, as always, just to make sure I don't get caught off guard, and some gunshots ring off on the other side of the blue building there. As I go to peek, however, a guy from the top of the blue building actually rinses me and does a bit of damage. So I go ahead, I armor up, I double check just to make sure that I don't get pushed, as always. And here's my plan. I airstrike the roof, just to relieve some pressure. I run back in to grab the other airstrike that was on the guy's corpse from earlier, and I look to make the push. Right hand side's out of the option, left hand it is. However, I do still have dead silence, so we pop that, and I make a push. He actually anticipates such a push, and he clusters the building himself, so I cannot hold the roof. So instead, I make a full rotation around to the opposite side of the circle, especially now that the next circle is made clear to me. I jump over, as always, checking the obvious spots, and I check the very last hiding spot. Of course, due to dead silence, this guy had no idea where I was coming from, and I take him out. Now you might wonder, why did I go down here instead of holding the ridgeline up the top? Well, it's because down here I actually have a better position all in all. They have far less cover to work with, and I can see everything, as well as the fact that the next zone does not mean they can hide inside a building. One guy actually plays smart and uses the roof against me, but he's forced to move due to the gas, and I see his parachute go off. I hear a cough on the left hand side of me, so I make my way back up. I get an easy kill on him, I pull out the airstrike to flush the last guy out of cover, and Tracker reveals his position to me. I move out wide to avoid the airstrike, and with that explosive finale, we win the game. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you enjoyed, a like would be superb. Subscribe if you want to catch more videos in the future, and you can always check me out over on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram too for more content and keeping up to date with what I'm doing. Thanks again, and take care. I'll catch you in the next one.